definitely different driving the 997 or a Starspec. But, you know, it was neat making my kind of professional debut in a Porsche and being able to come back and, you know, drive the Porsche this year. Obviously, such an iconic brand, such a well-driving car, such a well-refined car that it's a lot of fun to drive. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, this young man had plenty of experience and using every bit of it in the GT Porsche. He's been very quick here this weekend. He's very quick in Coda, and they had some brake problems in the race and kind of dropped driving time, but also looking to next year. What are GT cars then? Well, they start off as the cars that Brian just won. And then they are tuned with an inch in their life. They are the fire-breathing big brothers of the GTC cars that we saw earlier on. But you have to have a certain amount of cars to make them. 170 miles an hour, so plenty quick as well.
Oh, plenty quick indeed, right here at the end of the back straightaway. And I know Rick was down there in the GT land trying to get a ride in one earlier, I think.
I was thumbing my ride. No one was picking me up. I'd have given you a ride. You could have hold the Chianti. Interesting. Must be something to do with it. But generally, you find the tires come up very fast here, which of course, look forward 50 minutes time travel a bit when you're in a race. That's why the tires go off.
Yeah.
Because if they come up fast, there's high grip, high wear, high temperatures. Sidewalls get a bashing on these curbs. So by the end of the stint, which is obviously talking about tomorrow, it's going to be tough. But in qualifying, already, guys, using everything in racetrack. You can choose the compound that you want to run on now. In qualifying, you want a softer compound that's going to give you the lap time. But you got to start the race on those tires, Justin, and then perhaps some of these teams running a harder compound in the heat of the day in that middle stint. I think that is probably spot on what's happening here, because let's talk about this car right here, the number 48 car. They actually changed the motor in that car today. In between the first practice, at the end of the first practice ended at 11:25. Oh, look at them locking up there. And between 11:25 at 1:25, they had the new motor. Restrictor brake, a little bit larger restrictor back.
dynamics of the Ferrari allow you to be very precise at where you put the car. And looking at it right now,
it's interesting. We had a test day yesterday, and the car didn't seem to be that strong. And in fact, at one point, they actually had a problem. They had to pull off, and part of the wiring harness had physically come loose. They had to get out. Today they have just been cranking in the first practice, the second practice, and now. I'll tell you what it looks like to me, though. It's the Ferrari, very stiff chassis-wise. You see it, not a lot of roll in the car. Perhaps the Corvettes, the SRTs, a little bit more roll in that car, but the Ferrari very stiff. Now you ride on board our championship leaders, the number 3 Corvette, driven by Jan Magnussen.
Yeah, Jan needs to keep the pressure on here this weekend. It's amazing to me while we watch him being interviewed.
Interesting. They talk about lack of straight line, and certainly come race time that hurts.
Because of the air wall, are these guys helping each other out here? Maybe doing a little bit of tour, no front row kind of thing. It certainly wouldn't harm them, because you can only do that with a teammate, because the cooperation at the end of this straight is too tough.
I was talking to Maxime Martins in that number 55 BMW, his co-driver, Bill Auberle. And because of that, Bill sacrificed that last practice session and the qualifying session today just so that Maxime can get some more track time. So Bill hasn't even been in the car since this morning, but clearly it's paid off. It's the first weekend that they've done this, and it's paid off. That's what they need at the start of the race tomorrow, so smart strategy.
Competitive laps indeed. He's at the top of the charts right now in GT, and really all season long, every racetrack has been new to Maxime Martin. He had not raced here in the United States, so every racetrack brand new, and now Magnussen beginning to get up to speed. You talk about the lack of straight line speed. Racing is one thing, qualifying is another. Perhaps the better BMW a little better in qualifying than in race trim, but Magnussen, Corvettes have been fast.
You can see as he goes through, it doesn't actually, he could run the bumps through the S's, and it wasn't like he was bouncing off and just there we saw him just dip that wheel off, just touch the dirt just a little bit, get that little pop of dust into the air. As much track as you possibly can. How much speed can you carry? This is a problem right here. This is the championship championship contender. And look at the damage on the left-hand side.
Well, it's what you want to hear from your crew.
Yeah, I was going to say, grab onto that now, cling to it.
But one of the things that Corvette Racing does is they have a wall of monitors down there, and they spot for their drivers all the way around the racetrack. And you heard the crew say, we had just gotten a report, we just didn't get it to you quick enough, that there might be some fluid down.
Look to the left-hand side,
big hit.
right-hand side rather, and that was a big hit. And that again, that's an odd one, isn't it? Because he's got 3/4 of the ways round the corner. Now, is this where the fluid came from? Viper 90, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
On the screen of the 93. Yeah. And that, you do not want to see that as a driver, and that's a pretty good job by the Viper. Who is it who's gone off? And the Viper spins. We might get a shot of the orange car. Look to the left-hand side here, guys. There's a red flag out on the circuit now because of that, but we have got the time in.
Was the fluid out of the Viper or the car in front?
No, I
think
it was from the Viper. I think it was from the car in front.
And the question is, was the car in front this car?
Oh.
No, I don't think so, because the other car was well down the racetrack that went off.
Oh.
So
There was somebody right in front.
So that wasn't what the spin we saw in front of this was not the number 4 car. It was
Go
the
make
number
your deal.
62 car,
Might say yes
as
for
we
that,
understand
finally.
that actually did the spin and was causing that liquid to be on the Viper's windshield.
the red flag is